In this video, I want to show you how to review a used iPhone before purchasing, and as it is a second-hand product, we cannot wait, and is in perfect condition. However, let's look at the most important. For me, the most important thing is to review the aesthetic part, as this says a lot about how they have treated the phone. And as you can see in this, despite how old he is in perfect condition, even if this cannot be overconfident, since most of the iPhones sold here in Latin America are arriving is pure reconditioned, that this was probably a second-rate situation, have changed everything. And then it is now, practically as if it were new. But this is not, let's say, reason to rule out a refurbished telephone, is simply to check its status, which is in perfect condition, that does not have scratches, or has been affected by the screen, or things like that. Another reason as well, for which it is necessary to check a lot, is the subject of camera lenses. Check that it does not have any dust sign, or something like that, as this may harm the camera in the future. Another indication that it also suddenly can tell you a lot, whether the phone was repaired or not, is to check well in the screw part, normally when it is 100% original, because this will not be a sign of reparation, or that someone has put a screw in it. But when the phone is already reconditioned, for it is normal, sin embargo, as it is not a reason to rule out the purchase either. Simply, in this part that everything is fine, no screen leaks, or other things like this. Let's move on to the next. YSQ. We are going to review something very important on the screen, and it is that among one of the things that needs to be reviewed. SQ. In the sunk hold screen part, in the hair part, of a function appears your tom. If it does not have this function of your button, means that the screen is not the original one, or they changed the spare part and it turns out that the function of your tom does not appear. Another way to easily notice if the TV, whether the screen was changed or not, is to say look at the general part. And in the information section, should also appear a little bit, about this little problem, and if not, in the screen part, the function of your tom must also appear. In case it does not appear, you will encounter the problem that the spare part has already been changed or something like that. If you have this, there is no problem, means that the display was the original, or in case it has been repaired, because they made a very good repair. Since, as I say, normally that cell phone is, most of them are reconditioned, but in most cases, it works very well. Another reason is also to look at the battery condition, because this is what I tell you personally. YSQ. About battery capacity. That is subjective. But this can also have a huge impact. The value of the telephone is above 90%, and they are therefore asking for a fairly accepted price, and then buy it. But if it is less than 80, less than 90% as in this case, which is at about 80, it is better to say how to negotiate to see. Yes, we suddenly get it at the best price, since, as I say, this is simply a way for, a subjective way, to know whether it is suddenly worth it or not. Buy the phone does not mean that the battery is bad, or go to download very quickly, is simply very subjective. And obviously the lower the capacity, obviously, because it has to ask for more rebate, because suddenly the warning will appear that the battery has to be changed, or other things like this, and then send to change the battery. If so, we can leave it at 100%. What else do I comment there about it? The other thing is to check your Face ID, that everything works properly, and for that they enter where it says Face ID code, and then they do the Face ID test. If everything works well, also verify that the telephone has not been reported, or has no receipts, because that happens a lot, that suddenly the that you are reported by an iCloud account, or other things like the. Normally, the phone must be completely clean before testing. Also another reason, also check emails. Marking the asterisk numeral 06 numeral. The email will appear, and you can already see it on the page of each country. In the case of Colombia, con email Colombia. The other case is also to test the whole phone, that the cameras work well, that I have no receipts. If they are a little dirty, is because I had already passed my hand here. That is quite normal. I also tested to make the video camera work properly, approach and all in the style. Also performs a hearing aid test. Also verifies that the touch is in good working order. In case you have one iPhone 8, one SD2, or SD3. Test the 3 of touch. What is pressuring the touch? And it must act, for example, in this way. What else can we prune like this? They can headphones, can Wi-Fi signals, and all that stuff just like that. Yes, all that happens. And see that the phone is completed all these steps. Need it, because such a phone is difficult to obtain, and even more so when he is old. As in this case, QS an iPhone 11, and is in perfect condition, and I hope you like this video. Let me know with a like, subscribe, activate the bell and all. And see you next time.